of Brownsville. Pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given to the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene an executive session and regular meeting on Tuesday, April the 6th, 2010, at 5:45 p.m. and 6 p.m. in the City Commission chambers on the second floor of the Brownsville City Hall Federal Building, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas. Item 1 is executive session. Item A, discussion with legal counsel pursuant to Section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code regarding threatened or anticipated litigation.
Please be seated. Thank you for coming. Can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
So moved.
We have a motion from Commissioner Tran. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner. Mine went blank there. Commissioner Gowan, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Measure carries. Thank you. We'll be back shortly. This is for you. Greetings. Please rise and let's have the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one nation. Pastor Thomas Medina, would you please lead us in the invocation? Bow your heads.
Amen. Let's just pray this afternoon. Father, we just thank you, Lord, for today and the things that you do for us. And God, as we just gather in this place today, God, I thank you, Lord, each person here has a purpose. And God, we just pray for your wisdom and your counsel and your knowledge. God, help direct the affairs of the city. And God, we just speak prosperity to the city. And we pray this in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please be seated. There was a request to move a proclamation up because I believe that the person.
We need to get that framed, Mayor.
It's not framed yet?
No, it needs to get framed.
Okay, we'll go to the mayor's report, activities. As mayor, I've never stopped working on behalf of the city. Working on the Weir project is an ongoing process. I got a letter from IBWC with a timetable of what is going to take place to get the agreed minute order signed with Mexico and then go out for RFPs to build the Weir project. According to the timetable they're specifying in the letter, it'll be within the next 6 months. Hopefully we'll have the State Department approve the binational minute order that will allow the project to be built. Today, I took the city and private investors that own property along the river and PUB, and we went to look at the river. The proposed concept of a river walk compared to what was thought to be a levee wall river walk. And based on what I presented today there, how far the water level will go up, it's marked there. The concept is being redrawn to where we're looking to see a walkway along the banks of the river with a bulkhead, and then development of retail, hotels, restaurants, like San Antonio, a true river walk. Property owners were there. They were very enthused about the project. I asked for a sketch to be drawn of the development on both sides of the river. to present to the commission and then take to El Paso, to IBWC, to introduce it as a formal project. There was a lot of excitement of the concept, and there's some things that need to be done to make it a reality. They can be done with the support of the community and the commission. So we look forward to putting this presentation before the City Commission in the near future. On my trial, it was part of history of the city of Brownsville. Unfortunately, it's a dark part of history. I always had faith in the process, and when I was advised to ask for change of venue because of the dynamics being from here and the politics from here, I decided not to. I wanted to have it here because I think it was best to be judged by the jury of your peers. We had 2 trials, a hung jury on the first one and a not guilty on the second, a unanimous not guilty verdict. It was a relief for my family. I want to thank the many, many wonderful people who prayed for me. There was churches praying for me. There was individuals praying for me. They didn't want to see their mayor go down. It's not about me, ladies and gentlemen. This hurt our city. This is about the office I occupy. I'm just a mortal, but I represent the citizens of Brownsville. So when you attack the mayor, you're attacking your own city. And when you, something like this, I think it affects us all. I'm glad, my family is glad to put this behind us, to move forward. We believe many good things are going to happen. They're already happening. We're very grateful for the support, spiritually, and all those who express that support. We're very thankful. I think Thomas Jefferson said it best. A people who fear the government live in tyranny. A government that fears its people live in democracy. And that's what this is, ladies and gentlemen, democracy. We have a process. The process was there for us to follow. We followed the process, and now we can move forward. And again, I can't thank enough all those people that supported me, and my friends and my family. With that, that concludes my mayor's report, and I look forward to fulfilling my 4 years. If the people want me to run again, of course I'll consider it, but that's up to be seen yet. I've been tested, and I think I've been found beyond reproach, and I'm looking forward to serving you as your mayor for the remainder of the term. Commissioner's report, Mr. Atkinson.
To let citizens of Brownsville know that coming up on April 22nd, we'll be having a groundbreaking ceremony with the Brownsville people. That's going to involve a major volleyball player, professional volleyball player. That his name is Feroz. What's his name? Sid? Sure. He's a professional volleyball. 2-on-2 volleyball player coming down. And we're going to have a grand opening on that. It's going to provide, hopefully during the summer, a lot of activity there with the sand volleyball court. It's a BCAC project that has been undertaken for a while, and we're proud of that, to provide that for the children of Brownsville. So that'll be happening April 22nd. And we're also getting ready to, the summer's coming up, so we're already looking at bringing down camps for the kids at the sports park, and there's a lot of activity there. So I would hope everybody partake and go out there, exercise, walk around. There's a lot of things to do out there. It's for you all, and y'all need to go out there and experience it. Thank you.
That's it, Commissioner?
Yeah.
Commissioner Gowan?
Yes, wanted to update you about the Biggest Loser program. Before I say that, I would like to tell people that because of the great collaborative work between the School of Public Health and the City Parks and Rec Department, We have just received a grant for creation of an interactive playground in the Buena Vida neighborhood. So this is something that we would not have been able to do alone, but in working together, we're able to accomplish something very exciting. That should be a reality very soon. And Chris Patterson's department and Ben's grant writers did a wonderful job, I have to say, definitely wonderful. Secondly, with respect to the biggest loser, the competition or challenge, rather, goes on building as we speak. Last weekend or 2 weekends ago, or I guess 3 now that we had Easter, Su Clínica Familiar sponsored an event at Linear Park during the farmers market, at which a man named Danny Cahill, who was the winner of the season 8 of The Biggest Loser, was able to come down thanks to Su Clínica and speak. He gave a very inspiring speech about never giving up and always trying, not just with respect to weight loss, but with respect to life's goals. And you can see that on Channel 12. The coverage was very wonderful. The next weekend, we were at Dean Porter Park with Commissioner Troiani and Kang's Taekwondo. And those fine people taught us about how we can exercise in a different way, stretching and such. And we had a lovely walk in the park. And it was really delightful and very well attended. This coming weekend, we'll be at Lincoln Park with Commissioner Longoria. He's going to lead us on a walk that will start in Lincoln Park, and the kinesiology department at UTB will take over from there and take folks through the campus, including a nature walk and some small lectures and activities for children by some of the students there at UTB. The following weekend, we'll be at HEB on Paredes Line with the PUB, who is sponsoring a wonderful 3-tiered event that will go on most of the day, including door prizes and such. The Port of Brownsville on the 24th is sponsoring a 5K run walk at the port itself. There is one form of paper that you do have to fill out to participate, only because of the security at the port, so you do have to prove identification, but it is free of charge. Following weekend is BISD at Sam's Stadium, and then to close May 15th is the big finale that BCIC is sponsoring at the sports park, and we'll be having more information for you then. Half of the 400 people did come back for the midpoint weigh-in, which is very exciting. The School of Public Health and Health Department have been doing motivational calls to the people this entire time and have been very well received. The women's fitness classes are growing tremendously and overflowing at some time frames. The Tu Salud 50 website has gained over 600 hits just since the beginning of the project related to the Biggest Loser program. And phone calls and emails come in daily to different departments demonstrating that people are very, very excited about this new chance. Men's fitness classes still need higher representation, and hope to see you this Saturday at Lincoln Park.
Thank you, Commissioner Gallon. City Secretary, this is the letter from IBWC, and these are the articles in the trial. I want them included in the minutes, please, because I think it is a historical fact what this city went through. And I'd like a copy of that back, okay? Letter from IBWC. Okay, we go to the proclamations. We have a proclamation for Mr. Baldomero Trevino. Are you here? Mr. Trevino, please come forward. He's from your district. Would you do this, the honor of reading it for us, Commissioner Longoria?
Yes.
Mayor, thank you for the honor of being able to stand before everybody and recognize not only a friend, but a very exceptional business leader within the Southmost community and within the city of Brownsville. So with that, thank you for the opportunity, and I'll read a proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing and congratulating Mr. Baldomero Trevino on being selected as 2010 District Small Business Person of the Year. Whereas Baldomero Treviño, as owner of Mr. B Motor Company, has been in the automobile sales business for over 30 years and is one of 14,000 licensed used car dealers in the state of Texas. And whereas since 1963, the President of the United States has issued a proclamation calling for the celebration of Small Business Week, and SBA celebrates every year around the country in honor of the estimated 26.8 million small businesses in America, who represent more than 99% of all employers and provide 60 to 80% of the net new jobs. And whereas the U.S. Small Business Administration, Lower Rio Grande Valley District Office, has selected Mr. Treviño as the 2010 District Small Business Person of the Year, recognizing him as a small business owner for his hard work, innovative ideas, and service to the community, all leading to the success of his businesses. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, and on behalf of all our citizens, hereby recognize and congratulate Mr. Baldomero Treviño for his success and service to the community as a small business owner. Done the 6th day of April, 2010, signed Pat M. Amada, Jr., Mayor, and the City Commission. Congratulations, Baldo.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Rick. Thank you all for recognizing me. I mean, I did a hard work to get in here, and they select me. They choose me between a lot of other competitors, and I mean, I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of the city of Brownsville. Thank you all, and God bless you.
We'll call her for next.
From HOSA, the students from HOSA? Thank you. I'd like to welcome these young HOSA students to the commission. I think that we would all agree there's never enough minutes in the day to do what we'd like, and as teenagers, even more so. I think it's very delightful to see young people that take the attention and the time to think about others outside of their own circle, and that's what is the essence of this proclamation. They have designed a program to increase awareness about the flu in our community, and I'm hoping that they can tell us a bit about it after we read the proclamation. Whereas each year in the United States, on average, 5% to 20% of the population gets the flu. More than 200,000 people are hospitalized from seasonal flu-related complications, and about 36,000 people die from seasonal flu-related causes. And whereas HOSA's mission is to enhance the delivery of compassionate, quality health care by providing opportunities for knowledge, skill, and leadership development of all health science technology education students, therefore helping students to meet the needs of the healthcare community. And whereas Ashley Garza, Nicole Gomez, Alexandra Guerra, and Lynette Salazar, students attending Hanna High School and members of the healthcare program, have taken a personal interest in preventing the flu by taking the initiative to promote cleanliness, awareness, and prevention towards the flu with the help of their sponsor, Mr. Brian Brookstool. Whereas these students have recognized that through collaboration with public and private agencies, they have been able to create awareness broadly throughout our community. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the charter of said city, and on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby recognize and support the week of May the 10th through the 16th, 2010, as Flu-Proof Week, promoted by Health Occupation Students of America, Chapter 7940, and congratulate Ashley Garza, Nicole Gomez, Alexandra Guerra, and Lynette Salazar, and Mr. Brian Rookstool for their effort to combat the flu, done on this 6th day of April, 2010, signed by the Mayor and the Commission.
Well, thank you for giving us this opportunity to make a difference in our community. With your help, we will hopefully reach many citizens and help them take preventive measures to combat the flu. Our goal for the week is to decrease the amount of flu-related illnesses by assisting in decontamination projects within our district and reading our educational book to children. We really appreciate your help, and thank you once again.
Presentation Employee of the Month.
Mayor, members of the Commission, please help me welcome the Employee of the Month for April 2010, Robert Chavira. Robert has been working for the city since 1997. The first 5 years he spent at the Brownsville International Airport, Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport. He left shortly and went to work at the Greens Division and returned back to the airport in 2003, where he has been employed with us ever since. In speaking to Larry Brown, the director, and some of the employees at the airport, they feel that Robert is should be awarded the Employee of the Month because of his tremendous morale, his ability to help get all tasks done. One of the key things that we saw was during an inspection by the FAA, one of our foremen chose to resign, and we had an issue with supervision and things like that. Understanding that the airport consists of 2,000 acres of property, runways, taxiways, etc., he took on the responsibility of leading a crew and getting things done, getting things prepared, and the inspection went very well for us, and we owe a lot of thanks to him. As Employee of the Month, he receives, of course, a cap that he needs because he is an equipment operator, and he's out there in the sun a lot. The Employee of the Month pin, and the plaque recognizing him in recognition for outstanding services rendered to the city of Brownsville. The Employee of the Month for April is Mr. Robert Chavira.
Congratulations.
And Robert now qualifies for the Employee of the Year at our banquet in December, and he has a few words for the commission, if you may. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, Commissioner.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank this opportunity right now to thank everybody and make this award possible. It's really an honor for me to receive this award. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Larry. Item 5, consent agenda items.
Item 5, consent agenda items A through G.
We have a motion to approve, Commissioner Triani.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gowan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Item
Item
6.
6,
Consideration and action to appoint one member to the Brownsville Animal Regulation and Care Advisory Committee.
Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, this is a position from which Commissioner Edward Camarillo has resigned, and with Commissioner Zamora will be the commissioner that will be on the board, the Brownsville Animal Committee board.
Does it have to be a commissioner to fill the spot?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd be happy to serve.
I motion to nominate Commissioner Zamora.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Thank
Item
you.
7,
Item 7, consideration and action to appoint or reappoint 6 members to the Brownsville Citizens Advisory Committee.
Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners, there were still some appointments left. I believe you, Mayor, needed some appointments, Commissioner Gowan, and Mr. Triani.
Mayor, may I? Okay. I'd like to move to appoint Sandra Lopez Langley and Evelyn Cantu to the commission, to the board.
Second.
we have a motion and we have a second by Commissioner Zamora. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Any other appointments?
Mayor, some more yours.
Which are mine?
You need 3 members.
Jerry Frank,
Those people can add.
Selena Serrata.
Those people have served all their terms, so you need to appoint somebody new.
Let me come back next week, next meeting,
Okay.
okay? I'll talk to them, see if they
Still
want
on.
to.
That was it.
Okay? Commissioner Camarillo's not here.
Somebody's not here.
Commissioner Triani, do you have an appointment?
Ben, if I can come back, and I'll present mine at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. And between the interim, I would appreciate if maybe you can send the names to Stella, I can deliver information to them.
We need to have public service applications for each person that
That's
wants to
correct.
serve.
Yes,
Get the application. Okay, thank you, Ben.
thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Item 8,
Item 8, consideration and action to appoint or reappoint 2 members to the Parks Advisory Committee.
Mayor, Commissioners, there's 2 Parks and Recreation Advisory Board members that would like to be reappointed. They've expressed their interest. They've done a great job for us, Alfredo Garcia and Leo Rosales.
If it be
Move to
okay with the
reappoint.
commission, I'd like to reappoint Mr. Leo Rosales.
Second.
okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Longoria, second by Commissioner Zamora. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item?
Thank you.
Item
Well,
nine.
there's another one.
And the second person?
I thought Camarillo until he got back, no?
Well,
Well,
I don't believe that's his specific appointment. As you can see, we don't all have representation on that board.
Okay,
Is someone going to
which one?
make a motion to reappoint the other person, or are we going to wait?
I would
on
make
that?
a motion to reappoint Mr. Alfredo Garcia.
I'll second.
But I thought that was Camarillo's appointment.
Yeah, I'm sure you would want that.
I think we should give him the courtesy, let him make the appointment.
Well, Mayor,
Well,
as you
he'll-
can see, we don't all have adequate representation on that committee. Rose doesn't have representation, nor do I. So I doubt it's a specific appointment by each commission
It
member.
makes no difference to me, I just like to give him the courtesy. But that's the wish of the commission, that's fine. We have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item number 9, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 2010-1479-B to amend the City of Brownsville subdivisions code by amending section 332-169, park fee requirement, park fee in lieu of land, and adding section 332-170, dedication of parkland required, and add section 332-171, fees in lieu of dedication.
I can barely, excuse me, I can barely hear you, City Secretary. I don't know if it's me or if it's your mic. There's some, okay. Go ahead.
Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners, 2 years ago, the City Commission approved a park dedication ordinance. In this ordinance, developers pay a fee in lieu of dedication or dedication rights. We have studied and paid attention to this ordinance. and we are bringing it to you before tonight for some modifications to the ordinance. So I'm going to let Ramiro, our competent planner, go over it. We have a little short power presentation that would guide you through the text of the ordinance, and we will hope for your approval.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. I think it might have been 07, 08 that we passed this ordinance shortly before the Master Parks Plan was adopted. A lot of what this revision is, it's based on the recommendation in the 2008 Master Parks Plan. We got together with Chris and Parks and Recreation Department, and we worked it out, and this is the result. Basically, it's just adopting what the plan said. This is the current status of the parks that you guys might be familiar with. Mini parks and community parks, there's all different types of size of parks. The 2008, this is their recommendation. The way it stands right now is basically the city just, if the subdivision's over 100 acres, not over 100 acres, the developer just pays a 5% fee of the total land value. What we're trying to accomplish here is give developers and a little more option on what they can do, what they can dedicate. So we're tying it into a density factor. This is strictly from the Parks Plan.
Let me ask
they
you,
recommend. Excuse me.
Let me ask you, what's feasible? 2.5 acres for every 1,000 people. Right now the census says we're 140,000. With the new census, we should be at 200,000. That's a lot of parkland. I mean,
No, those are national standards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, these are
Those
national
not
standards.
Local arbitrary numbers.
So we're tying it into the density, the dedication into density. So
because the operating maintenance would just be cost prohibitive for us.
Yeah, no, but if you let me continue.
Okay.
So if you have, the recommendation was 0.01 per dwelling unit of an acre. So if you have a 500 dwelling subdivision, then you're going to have 5 acres of park dedication. So this is the way the current dedications ordinance stands. Basically, you just pay 5% of total land value. The ETJ developments, they pay a fee. They can't dedicate under the current ordinance. Commercial, industrial, also, they just pay a fee. And the park should, the money that's collected with this ordinance, it should be spent within 1.5 miles on a park or maintenance or anything. The exclusions are developments of 5 acres or less, wetlands, what we call wetlands is resacas and everything else. And you can't dedicate anything in the flood zone, 100-year floodplain. So the revised one, we tie it into the density. We do a minimum dedication requirement of 5 acres. So if you don't meet that dedication requirement with your calculation, you have to pay. So if you don't meet 5 acres, you pay.
And the biggest difference right now, Mayor, is 5% of the appraised value. Here, we're requesting 2.5% of the appraised value. That's the change.
And so even if, when you finish your calculation, let's say you have a 300-unit subdivision, you have to dedicate 3 acres. Well, what are you going to pay? Right now, you only pay 5% of the complete, the total subdivision. This, you do the calculation. So let's say you get 3 acres, you have to pay the market value per acre. So it's a little different. The ETJ development also can now dedicate. They don't have to strictly pay. So we're getting land. And commercial and industrial development, before they paid 5%, now we're lowering that to 2.5%. We expanded the area to cover 2 miles instead of 1.5. And as that dedication, you can also you can dedicate floodplain. So, we don't allow development in floodplain, so developers can actually dedicate 50% of that towards meeting the requirement. These are the exclusions in the current. So in the current ordinance, it was 5 acres or lower. You didn't have to do anything. In this ordinance, it's 2 acres. So we're lowering that. And as it says, plats containing lots of 10 acres or greater. they can postpone to the next subdivision. And the wetlands are still excluded. They can't donate resacas. So that's.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Anybody want to speak on this matter? If not, can I have a motion to close public hearing?
Motion.
Commissioner Gowan, can I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Longoria. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. This is an action item. Can I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner
Second.
Zamora, second by Commissioner Gowan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 10,
Item 10, public hearing and action to authorize the issuance of a new taxi cab permit to Mr. Feroz Ummer on a 2003 Dodge Caravan van who will be operating for Balli Taxi Company.
Mayor, members of the City Commission, good evening. I think the agenda item speaks for itself. In addition to that, he has met all the requirements under the city taxi ordinance, and staff is recommending approval that he be authorized a taxi cab permit.
okay, this is a public hearing. Anybody here opposing it or supporting it? Okay, can I have a motion to close public hearing?
Second.
Motion to close by Commissioner Troyani, second by Commissioner Longoria. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item, can I have a motion? Motion to approve by Commissioner
Second.
Troyani, second by Commissioner Longoria. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 11.
Item 11, public comment.
We have Juan Mejia first, in this order. Fernando Ruiz, Alex Resendes, Leti Garzoria, and Donna, I believe Donna Rodriguez, in that order. Mr. Mejia?
Yes, sir.
You're first. You know, you're familiar with the,
What?
you're familiar with the rules?
Juan Mejia.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Olmito.
Welcome.
And,
Our chairman.
I'm here to request, we got paperwork there.
Okay, you want to explain the rules to Mr. Mejia, because I think he's never been here before, that I know of. City Attorney?
Sir, I think,
Thank you.
excuse me, Mr. Mejia.
Mr. Mejia,
Yes, sir.
the attorney is speaking to you.
I think the mayor might be referring to the rule that you remove your hat.
Yes, sir.
All right. And basically, as a public comment, this is your opportunity to talk about things that are pertaining to city business, but that aren't on the agenda, but you're to avoid personal attacks on people and talking about people that aren't public figures.
All right.
Welcome, Mr. Mejia.
All right, you all got this paper there. When the city of Brownsville informed our community about intentions of to annex our area, at the meeting for the annexion was established, the city would not need to provide water service, center service, police protections. We already had such things. Well, anyway, so they promised us street lights and street humps. This was 10 years ago, okay? 10 years ago. And we're still waiting. And one more thing, we need sewer there, some sewer lines there. We got the lift stations already in one section on Lomax Road and Road 3 and our other states. We got the engineering done, the right-of-ways, and all we need is money to put the sewer lines down. We got the lift stations already, the right-of-ways, and engineering done.
Have you approached PUB with this?
Can't hear, sir.
Have you approached PUB with this?
No,
Have you
sir.
got?
I spoke to Mr. Kepler about it, that's all.
Okay.
And my name's Santana Torres. And he was going to get back with you. And what happened is, according to the state, we're not allowed no more septic tanks in the city limits. And we need to fix that problem. I'm pretty sure Brownsville can help us solve that problem. I have a lot of states, it's a big state, Lomax and 803. Melissa, this is your district, maybe you can do something for us there.
I'd be happy to help you, sir.
And if you do, please call our manager at Olmito Water Service or Olmito Water Supply Corporation and tell him what it could be done, okay? Thank you very much, people.
If you provide a telephone number to the city secretary, I'll have PUB contact you to see what they can do with the water.
Mr. Kepler?
Yes.
Okay, he got it.
Just give him your phone number, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for coming. Mr. Reese, Fernando Reese.
Mr. Hutton, I need my 3 minutes exactly, please. I have bought a film where you cut me short every time by half a minute or more. Let's get that straight tonight. Gentlemen, my name is Fernando Ruiz. Good afternoon. You know, this might be laughter to you, but you know, what kind of a people are you then? If you are cutting me short every time half a minute, when I'm supposed to have 3 minutes, and I had to time clock by the film so that I, you know, this is how ignorant you are. You know, I time clocked my time that you gave me here, right? And it's 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes when you cut me off. This is why you get into trouble, Mayor. You don't know how to do things that are right.
Please keep your comments.
Today, I would like to address her. The courts have given you closure. I submitted an amicus brief to the court, to the Judge Pate that came here to see about your dealings. And still, the court has cleared you, but not the people of Brownsville, sir. We still need an answer as to who gave you that check, number one. And number two, in reviewing these 4 months that I have not been here visiting with you, there is something you call guilt by association. I will not count Mrs. Zamora or Mrs. McGowan in this matter, but the rest of you, yes, because you're supposed to be aware of what's going on in this community. And if we ask for information, you're supposed to be protecting the interest of the people of Brownsville. Now, whatever has happened, I have only one recommendation to make. This has turned into a circus. And then there has not been accountability to the citizens of Brownsville. So today I am going to be nice and say, Mr. Kebler, Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Purchasing Agent, all personnel that are familiar and know exactly what happened pertaining to this case, I'm going to ask for your resignation tonight because you have not been accountable to the people of Brownsville.
I think you're out of line.
No, I'm not out of line, sir. Excuse me,
Reese.
sir. No, sir. Please
Your
do not
public-
interrupt me. I am
City
not out of
Attorney,
line.
Please address him.
I know what I'm doing. I am not
I
out
hate-
of line,
Mr.
and I have a right to do so.
Mr.
Because we have not put closure in this. Listen to me.
Mr. Reese,
And you will never get elected again to this office. What's the matter with you?
Mr. Reese,
You're
I
dreaming.
respectfully ask you to abide by the
No,
rules.
sir. I'm not out of order, sir.
Would
You're
you,
out of order.
Would you
You're not
please
supposed to talk to me
bring
when
it to his
I'm
attention or
talking.
have him removed, one of the two?
Well, have me removed then.
Mr. Ruiz, it's perfectly acceptable for you to talk about people who are public figures, all right? But however, once you start talking about staff members and complaints about staff members and complaints about staff
Well,
members,
sir,
please let me finish.
There has been no closure yet.
What's appropriate is for the mayor to ask you to direct those comments to the city manager.
The people of Brownsville, sir, have been deceived, not only in this matter. We have the matter, other matters concerning other issues. I'm only addressing one issue. Only one issue I'm addressing, because I'm not satisfied, and the people of Brownsville have not put closure to this matter, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Reese, I appreciate you coming here, and I respect you.
Well, sir, you need to, because I respect you,
Sir,
and I'll tell you what, sir,
allow
I know
me
my
to-
rights.
Allow me to finish. And you're always welcome here, but you have to abide by the rules. Do not attack people. If you got something you can address with the city manager, please try to do that.
First
before-
Amendment, sir. You're not abiding by the rules.
Well,
Mr. Mayor, time is up.
your time's up.
Well,
And,
you owe me half a minute from last time. So now I will speak
next
for
time
half
I
a
will have
minute.
you
Yes, I
removed.
will. Yes, I
Okay.
will. And that's only one issue. Sir, we cannot continue to ignore this. Why are we going around in circles? You have turned this into a circus. We are not satisfied with the court's decision.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, this gentleman is out of order. He's exceeded his 3 minutes.
I think you already exceeded your time.
We have the answer of who gave you that check.
Chief, you want to get somebody over here?
I don't think that's necessary.
The one that you're supposed to be taking out is somebody else here. The one
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Okay, we have now Alex Resendez.
Take me out, because I'm going to give you problems. ¿Ah? No sean chickens, hombre. Pues, ¿qué
Timer's
pasó?
on.
Okay, listen.
You're always welcome here, Mr.
Bendito sea Dios. Claro, güey. He's got 3 minutes. Okay, the guy's got to get excited because there's a whole bunch of people against him, and he only got 3 minutes. It's not easy to come here, okay? No es fácil venir aquí. I'm going to try to change the vibrations or the feelings, okay? But you can kick me out. I've been kicked out of better places. Mira, tú eres inocente. Siempre has sido inocente. That's why I prayed for you. Yo oré por el mayor porque yo sabía que era inocente. No sabía lo que estaba haciendo. You did not know you had $26,000 in your hand. The bank is to blame, you know? The bank is very stupid. Plus, the judge that tried, he was very dumb. He came from Corpus Christi. He didn't know what the hell was going on. Most of the time he was
Why
asleep.
is he allowed to say this and we didn't allow Mauro Ruiz to express his opinion?
Huh? No. Estoy diciendo que es inocente. I'm in your side. I'm helping the mayor. He
No,
was
I'm just
innocent.
saying we didn't allow Mauro Ruiz the same.
Let's move
I
forward.
knew he was innocent all the time. Okay.
Mr.
Mira,
Rodriguez,
mira.
let's
Well, let me
move
finish,
forward.
please. Porque vas a tener que sacar a mí también. But I'm trying to help you. I'm saying
I understand.
the mayor did not know what he was doing. He was very innocent.
Look,
The
there's-
ones that are stupid is the bank and the jury and the court and the judge in the court because they did not ask who gave him the check, and the mayor was smart enough not to say who gave him the check. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Dios les
Mr.
bendiga. But eres inocente.
Thank you.
Here in Cameron County only.
Thank you. We need to move forward. This is something that we need to put behind us. Thank you, Mr. Resendez. Okay. We live in a land of democracy. Leti Garcia.
Is it okay for us to laugh now?
No, Mr. Reese's problem was he started tagging staff. And I had him doing it. Tagging staff.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Leticia Perez Garzoria, and today I come before you with a different kind of concern. I was deeply troubled by comments from one commissioner a couple of months ago regarding public speakers. Some comments that were brought up were the same recycled people, which was one comment. The one that even troubled me the most was that Brownsville deserves a better class of people who comment. Obviously, this commissioner believes that there are classes between him and the people in this podium, whoever might speak, present company included and future. Although I expected to hear some opposition from the rest of the commission that they did not agree or they took issue with this particular comment, I didn't hear anything from anybody. Perhaps an unfortunate choice of words, perhaps something really spoken from the heart, I don't know. I really don't know. But since neither situation occurred, that nobody took any reason to, oh, I forgot another one, reason to take issue with it, I reflected on those words. I went home and I reflected on them and I said, coincidentally, I was reading a book at that time. It's entitled Ronald Reagan in Private by Jim Kuhn. In this book, he describes Ronald Reagan, our 40th President of the United States, as follows, and I quote, "I learned over the ensuing years that Reagan treated everyone that way, whether it was a foreign leader, a member of Congress, a Girl Scout, or a busboy. Everyone was the same in Ronald Reagan's eyes, and everyone was important. He didn't adjust his manner based on the relative importance of whoever he was dealing with. He was genuinely interested in hearing about you. It was an approach that made you feel like you mattered. And it was part of the personal magnetism of Ronald Reagan that was to capture millions of Americans." End of quote. From actor to governor to the 40th President of the United States, dubbed the Great Communicator, Reagan used his magnetism, his poise, his elegance, his wit to talk to his fiercest enemies, the Russians, our enemies. At one of the last meetings, he was with Premier Mikhail Gorbachev. He told him in 4 simple words, tear down this wall. 4 words that changed the course of history as we know it. 4 little words. Because of the type of relationship that he had with Mikhail Gorbachev, it made a statement, and it moved this big leader to do something that he didn't want to do.
Mayor, time is up.
Okay. Your time's up, I'm sorry. Thank you very much for coming. Okay, we have Donna Rodriguez, I believe that's, it looks like Donna Rodriguez. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Donna?
It's Danya.
Danja.
Close enough, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Danya Rodriguez. My husband moved to this country when he was 3 years old and was deported June of last year. He lived here 37 years. Subsequently, I was not able to pay for my home, and my daughter and I were almost homeless. I moved here. I sold everything I had and moved here, and have been here since the 24th of December, and I have looked for a job everywhere I could possibly think of to look for a job in this place. And I assure you that if I don't find a job soon, we'll be on the street. And so I guess what essentially I'm coming to you for help. I was taught by my father that if my legs worked and my arms worked, that I should work. I shouldn't depend on anybody to give me anything. And so I've always worked twice as hard as everybody around me because I wanted my name to be good. And nothing I seem to do is helping here. And so I have a friend who's a pastor who comes here regularly and prays, and he told me that if I came and I brought my case before you, that maybe you or someone who hears me can help me with a job. And I'm just praying that will be the case. And I've never been to anything like this. I live in Matamoros now with my husband. I pay rent on a place in Brownsville so that my daughter can go to school in the United States. And every night I fear, the place we live in. I don't know Spanish. He doesn't know Spanish. I mean, we have to buy groceries here. It's a terrible situation for my family, But without employment, we won't make it. We won't make it. And I'm a Christian. I trust God to make a way where there is no way. But I also know that I have to be diligent and do my part, and so that's why I'm here. I appreciate your time.
Ms. Rodriguez, I can't promise anything, but if you would be kind enough to give your name to and contact number to the city manager, maybe we can get an application and put it through the process. I mean,
I have an application on file with the city.
Okay.
The problem is most of the jobs that were posted are not. You have to have specialized training, and I don't have hardly any of those. I have 20 years experience in residential and commercial cleaning. I don't have a college education, but I'm a very hard worker. Cool. And so I put in an application for the one job that didn't require a college degree, and I'm hoping I'll hear something. But I have an application in already.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And maybe if somebody that's watching on TV here and if they got a job, contact us here. They can help out this lady.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's it for public comments. We'll move on to the next item.
Item 12, discussion regarding rules relating to public comments at city commission meetings.
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to ask that matter be tabled to the next meeting.
We have a request to table.
Move the table.
Motion by Commissioner Zamora.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Zamora. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action items 13 through 17.
Item 13, consideration and action on resolution number 2010-026 to establish the need to replace traffic signal lights with standard incandescent lamps with light emitting diodes and authorize the city manager to execute an agreement with the Texas Comptroller for such funding.
Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners, this is another grant that Mr. Esparza and our grant writers put together, and this is to replace the bulbs with LED lights on Boca Chica, State Highway 48, and South Padre Island Highway. The grant agreement requires a resolution, which is before you, to be executed, so we can start working with this money. Ask for your approval.
Okay, this is an action item, any discussion?
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Terriani, second by Commissioner Atkinson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 14.
Item 14, consideration and action in regards to the funding, deed of trust, and note between the City of Brownsville and Bowie Gardens LLC for the construction of multifamily housing units.
Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners, with this project, 86 units will be constructed on Bowie Road. It is a tax credit project. Gap financing is needed here so they can be eligible for additional financing by the state of Texas under the TCAP program. This loan pool has been capitalized by what we used to call a UDAG grant by HUD. Back in 1984, it was put together, and I assisted in that project. Very happy to say that. It was paid back, and it was actually a project in Southmost, and that was the Lopez supermarket. And I'm very happy to be here before you and utilize those proceeds again. I think it's an excellent use. There's a one-year loan. It will be paid back with interest, and it's got a note guaranteeing the city's money. It's got a deed of trust, and it's personally guaranteed by the developer. So I ask for your approval of this project.
Who to approve? The motion by Commissioner Longoria, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Longoria. Motion made by Commissioner Atkinson, second by Commissioner Longoria. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
I'll abstain.
One abstention. Item 15.
Item 15, consideration and action on resolution number 2010-027 to request that the Texas State Legislature and the Governor of Texas take action to compel payday and auto title lenders to stop usurious lending and comply with the same standards as licensed consumer lenders in Texas.
Members of the Commission, several weeks ago, you enacted a series of ordinances designed to counteract the harmful effects of the payday loan and car title loan industries in Texas, in Brownsville. Unfortunately, the powers that the City Commission has in this regard are extremely limited. We all know that payday loans and car title loans are very abusive, and they trap people in cycles of poverty. Unfortunately, the City Commission has jurisdiction over certain areas of city concern, but financial regulation is essentially a matter of state and federal concern. So in talking with, I think it was at Commissioner Zamora's suggestion, we were talking with the United Way about, in doing some of the research we did for the ordinance, and they actually suggested a resolution that was enacted in El Paso. And I think I could read it here. It says, whereas the City Board of Commissioners of the City of Brownsville represents the citizens of the City of Brownsville, and whereas the citizens of the City of Brownsville are deeply concerned about the harmful effects of payday and auto title lending practices in our community and elsewhere in the state of Texas. And whereas in the state of Texas, there are over 3,000 of these unlicensed and unregulated lending storefronts, making over $3 billion in high-cost loans to Texas families each year. And whereas there are over 45 of these loan outfits in our local community promising easy credit, only to hurt people with annual percentage rates upward of 500% in loan terms that often pull people deeper into debt. And whereas 15 states and the District of Columbia have adopted a 36% or lower annual percentage rate cap for these small loans, and the federal government has adopted a similar rate cap for payday and auto title loans to military based on Department of Defense, finding that these loans, quote, undermine military readiness, harm the morale of troops and their families, and add to the cost of fielding an all-volunteer fighting force, close quotes. And whereas we see a crisis in our community and we need action at the state level to enforce fair consumer lending practices in Texas. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of Brownsville urges the Texas State Legislature and the Governor of the State of Texas to take action in the next regular session of the Texas Legislature in 2011 to enact laws that will, number one, close the loophole in state law that allows payday, auto title, and other consumer loans to carry annual percentage rates of over 500%. Two, provide a level playing field by requiring all lenders and brokers of payday, auto title, or other consumer loans to be licensed and to comply with the same standards and consumer protection laws of licensed lenders under Chapter 342 of the Texas Financial Code. And 3, create a system to collect consumer loan data from lenders and brokers of consumer loans to ensure that these outfits engage in fiscally sound lending that supports the well-being of our communities. We would ask that you adopt this as a resolution. Michael Rodriguez of Texas Appleseed, which is another non-for-profit corporation, has asked to address the City Commission on this issue since his organization has worked heavily in this area.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Commission members. I'm here today on behalf of Texas Appleseed. I'm a board member of this organization whose mission it is to promote justice across the state for the citizens of this state by leveraging volunteer skills, labor, as well as dollars from lawyers and other professionals to help promote justice. This is one of our signature issues. We urge that you adopt this resolution, and you ask the state legislature to stop the practice of unregulated lending by these credit service organizations. And really what the problem is that there is no regulation that affects these companies, and it allows them to charge upwards of 500% interest on short-term loans. It's an amazing, really, loophole that they found in a law that was initially enacted to help consumers by talking to credit service organizations. Well, the loophole allowed these lending organizations to basically pay a $100 fee per year, registration fee per year, to the state of Texas, and then lend money unregulated because the money comes from a third-party lender out of state. There are no usury laws which are applicable in this case because they're not considered lenders, and so they're able to charge rates in excess of 500%. You will see people routinely take a loan out, and for every $100, I'm speaking generally here, but typically the practice is for every $100 that's borrowed, $20 is the fee. The loan is taken out for 2 weeks. It has to be repaid in full at the end of the time, or else the fees generate again. Oftentimes, these people end up paying more in fees than they borrowed in the first place. So we would ask that you please consider this resolution, take a step as another border city of the state to ask the legislature to end the practice of this unregulated lending, bring these entities and organizations under the purview of regulatory bodies within the state of Texas so that we can hopefully prevent predatory lending as well as enhance programs to promote savings as well as responsible lending and responsible borrowing in the state.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Zamora?
May I make a motion? I'd like to move to approve resolution number 2010-027.
Second. We have a second by Commissioner Triani. Any further discussion?
I'd just like to thank Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Sossi for bringing this to the table. I think it's a great effort. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 16.
Item 16, consideration and action to authorize the City of Brownsville to enter into a contract with Morrison Owners Incorporated, a nonprofit corporation, for the purpose of economic development of West Morrison Road.
This is an agreement for economic development of the West Morrison Road area. The Texas Local Government Code under Section 308, or Chapter 308, provides a mechanism that local governments can partner with one of two different kinds of entities: corporations incorporated under 501c3 or Texas Development Corporations. And under for those two types of entities, local governments can either provide loans or grants for the purpose of stimulating economic development. Okay? So this is something that's new, that's been created by the Texas Legislature to enable local entities to have a new tool in its toolbox to stimulate local development and growth. Traditionally, when the city wanted to build major arterial roadways, east-west corridors, we would file applications with Texas Department of Transportation, who would eventually provide funding. And then this Texas DOT would provide funding for a certain percentage of it, and the city would provide funding for a certain percentage of it. Typically, real estate developers wouldn't put in these kind of roads. They might put in roads in subdivisions okay? But they would, but real estate developers typically wouldn't be developing major arterial corridors in a city. What happened in this case is that the city has been negotiating with the landowners, a group of landowners who have incorporated themselves into Morrison Owners, Inc., which has been incorporated as a not-for-profit corporation, and that is in the process of seeking approval as a 501c3 corporation, okay? And basically what has happened is, whereas these developers in the past would not have put any money at all into the development of a major arterial roadway, and the cost of construction on something like this would be $4.5 million. The city, in this case, will probably only have to spend approximately $2.5 million, or 50% of the construction of the total roadway, because the other half of the construction is going to be borne by the developers who in the past wouldn't have had that burden, okay? The reason they're doing that is because people don't want to wait for TxDOT. There's areas of the city that the city wants to develop for purpose of stimulating economic growth, expanding our tax base, and people who are landowners want to develop that. So instead of waiting for TxDOT, what we have is we have this new statute, or this relatively new statute, that provides for public-private partnerships that basically we can partner with these 501c3 corporations to create or stimulate economic development and growth in our own communities, okay? It's also a good deal for the city, because instead of having to go do the whole thing on its own, if we weren't going to wait for TxDOT, we would have to pay for this roadway on our own. Instead, we've reached an agreement where we're going to pay 50%, and the developers are going to have to pay 50%. The way this is going to work, or the way we're suggesting that it works, is that the developers would initially put $1.1 million or so into a trust account to be managed by a trustee to be appointed by the city. The contract would be then administered by the developers, okay? And money would be put in on a 50-50 pro-rata basis. Now, the contract does give the city the ability to advance or loan the developers in the city's sole discretion, okay? The right but not the obligation to advance monies for the construction of the road to get it built.
Why?
But basically to get it done. I mean, you've got people that are have land abutting the road, and a lot of them are willing to pay to get the road built, and some of them are. So in the cases where you have people that aren't going to either have the money or the will to pay, the city has the discretion to advance the funds. However, that money would be, in keeping in mind that it's a 50-50 deal, that money would be protected by an assessment on that land. And in the event that if that property is sold, the money plus interest comes back to the city. Or if that property is not sold within 7 years, Morrison owners would have to pay the city for that money.
Who are the Morrison owners?
Commissioner, there's a list on the back of the one of the exhibits, and I think there's a list of the owners, and I think. Sure. And I think Mr. Sanchez, who represents Morrison owners, can answer the questions in terms of the identity of his clients. But it's actually in the packets that I provided to you today, a list of all the different property owners on the Morrison Road. Now, this road will be constructed according to the plans and the specification of the project engineer who's been on the project for quite a number of years. The previous engineer, Ambiotech, has already been selected as the project engineer by the city by previous commissions. That's why they're there. The road would be constructed according to the plans and the specifications which have already been approved. And the monies would only be released upon approval of the trustee, the person that's managing the trust account, and the project engineers to ensure that the road is built in compliance with the project specifications. So we have a way.
Situation, it gets the budget done, it increases our tax base, it expands our tax base, and I think it's healthy.
Yeah, we've guaranteed in the contract that the project will be completed according to the contract specifications. We've guaranteed in the contract that anything in addition to the 50% that the city were to advance, if it wanted to advance, will get paid back through assessments and collection on assessments on the land.
So Mark, the previous contract does stipulate that supervising engineer is Ambiotech, that does fall within
Yes,
the purview?
Ambiotech was already on the job and was already selected by previous commissions as the project engineer for West Morrison and East Morrison Road.
Would this new contract require us going out for RFQs again, or that contract currently stands?
No, this
or-
contract is actually not between us and Ambiotech at all. This contract is between us and Morrison Road, but it acknowledges that Ambiotech is already the engineer that's on the project.
Okay.
Let me ask them, would these owners have a problem with the city handling the bid process for this,
Building the street?
yeah, building the street? Will
Well,
they have a problem? Because look, we're using city taxpayer dollars. And what I see is that we're gonna give this money and put it into a nonprofit corporation that isn't done yet, right? It's not done?
Is it going to increase the cost?
The corporation hasn't been formed yet. I think yesterday, or the day before.
Okay.
They filed
When
their
it does
paperwork.
get done, we're gonna put this money in there, this 2.5, and they're gonna put their 1.2, and they still owe 1.3. If they can't come up with that 1.3, the city's obligated to put in the rest of the money for them?
No, the contract makes clear several things, Commissioner. First of all, that the city has no obligation to provide any funding at all until they attain the status of a 501c3 corporation. So
And
in terms of that concern, that has to be done first.
And I talked to you about this, and I'm totally for this project, but when we're using city taxpayer dollars, isn't it in the city's best interest to go out for bid through the city, so we ensure we have companies that are doing business that have bonds that protects the city?
Not necessarily, and I'll tell you why.
Not
First of
necessarily.
all, we've already have a procedure in place where the lowest bid will be selected. The project engineer and the contractor are going to they're going to go out for bids, and the selection of the contractors will be done through a bid selection
So they
process.
wouldn't have a problem doing the bid process through the city, or they would have?
What I'm saying is that anytime we build a road, anytime a contractor builds a road, Commissioner, in a subdivision,
Yeah.
we don't have all the bonding requirements and things like that we have in requirements that if we have a city do it. So, no, they would not have the same requirements that the city would have. But that situation isn't markedly different.
And then
That's what the city does all the time.
And the reason I'm asking is because, look at Pablo Casal. We have problems with that street. We don't want to see another street get built like that by not holding these Morrison owners accountable for the quality of the street we have. I know you are going to have performance bonds, right?
Yeah, but with their standards, they must abide by the standards are set by the city and the state. And we have a city engineer that will be checking on them.
No, I totally agree with you, Mayor, but is there a problem with the city handling the bid process to ensure that Dennis, that we take care of our local businesses that do business with the city? We have engineers, we have paving companies, we want to make sure that the business that the people you all hire are from Brownsville. We don't want other people from other cities coming in and in a time where we need to take care of our local business.
Well, Commissioner, the bidding process, first of all, the road has to be built according to TxDOT specs. Ambiotech, who's working for the city, not us, drew up those specs, and they're the ones going to be responsible for making sure that the road is built appropriately. At our last meeting that we had, we agreed that that Ambiotech would prepare the bid package and would contact all of the local contractors and give them the bid package to come in and bid on it. Essentially, we're using the city bidding process.
Okay.
And so we're getting there. Also, they're also going to put it for publication in the newspaper as well. So there's going to be fair opportunity for all of the local contractors to come in. We don't really foresee anybody, north of McAllen or west of McAllen or north of Raymondville coming down and bidding on this project. It's going to be the same 5 or 6 contractors that day in and day out perform work for the city.
Great. You satisfied that part of some of the questions I had, and I appreciate you answering that. The other part is East Morrison Road. We're in the process of trying to get TxDOT to do that road. It's badly needed. And I know the city has a $5 million bond. And from that $5 million bond, which I hear we've already tapped into, we may have to use some of that $5 million bond to do West Morrison Road. What is that going to do? And I think that's more of a question for our city attorney. What is that going to do with TxDOT on the East Morrison Road when they've already approved doing the East Morrison Road with us coming in and paying the couple $1 million that we're supposed to pay? Is the $5 million, what I'm trying to secure is that the $5 million bond that we have, if we're going to work with these developers and it's 2.5, that it's not going to come back and be a $4 million, a $6 million project, but we need to put in $3 million, and we're shortchanging the East Morrison Road, which is badly needed, and a lot of people are counting on us on our side in our district to make sure that gets done, because schools need to be built there, and we've waited over 8 years to see that side.
Well, I understand that, Commissioner. I understand your concern in East Morrison Road. And I think the $5 million was budgeted for both East and West Morrison Road. I think what's important here is that the city's commitment in regard to West Morrison Road is 50% of the project. Any monies that we paid in addition to that would be monies that we decided to pay. We're not compelled to pay.
Great.
So I think the idea is to get this done.
The engineering firm that we've been working with and our engineers anticipate that this project, based on their engineering calculations, they're saying 4.6, but honestly, they're feeling that their bid is a little high. We're hoping that this bid comes in at about $4 million, and we're anticipating it to come out at that. Now, based on all the bids we've been asking for recently, not only us, but TxDOT and other entities, bidding has come in less than anticipated by the engineer. So we're anticipating this bid to be a lot less. Now, we got two projects going on now. We got East Morrison, which TxDOT's already committed to financially assisting us with, and West Morrison, whom they've already told us, don't even look at us until 2014 or beyond to even consider you. So we either wait 4 or 5 years down the road to even hope that there's funding in place for this. And obviously by that time, this project is going to be a lot more. And your concern will arise then that this project is going to be a lot more than $4, $5, or $6 million because of material costs and things like that. So we're trying to get both of these, Morrison Road done as a whole, and hopefully get everything done in the next few years. And that's our reason in working with these developers. We worked with these developers for now, I say 3 to 4 years. Before we reached this agreement, we've always said, we've always had issues and concerns and disagreements, and this is the first time that we say we're going 50-50 on a project, and that's how we want to do it. We want to make sure that we share in the cost. And so this is unique, but it allows us the opportunity to get the total sum of East Morrison and West Morrison done in the next few years.
So you understand, because we're going in uncharted areas, why I need to ask these questions?
Certainly do. I certainly do. And I think, Commissioner, I applaud you for that. I think everybody should ask questions. And I think all of us, in the 5 years that Dennis says we've been working on this, all of us have had a lot of questions before we reach this final agreement that Mr. Sossi has helped us finally put in writing.
Thank you very much.
This is a creative way of getting this project done that has been stalled for many years, and it's a win-win situation for everybody. Can I have a motion?
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
A motion to approve by Commissioner Atkinson, second by Commissioner Zamora. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 17. Thank you.
Item 17, consideration and action to authorize the donation of armored vests from the Brownsville Police Department to the City of Penitas, Texas Police Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, second.
Judge.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it, Chief? Item 18.
Make my job easy.
Item 18, consideration and action to award a contract for rehabilitation taxiway D&E for the Brownsville South Powder Island International Airport.
This is already approved by the FAA, correct? This is from the grants?
That is correct.
Move to approve.
Second. Motion to approve by Commissioner Trias, second by Commissioner Moran. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 19.
Item 19, consideration and action to award a term contract for on-site and off-site scanning and indexing services for the City of Brownsville departments.
Honorable Mayor, City Commissioners, contractors were advised, let me give you some information about this project. In this case, on this RFP, the contractors were advised that the solicitation was in the form of an RFP, and that the firms, recommended to City Commission were going to be based on the highest overall points scored during the evaluation process and negotiations. This procurement method ensures that the qualified firms are given the flexibility to design the level of services to surpass the specifications stated in the basic scope of service required. The RFP process is driven by the final evaluation score determined from an objective evaluation of the proposals received. The cost component the cost component is not open until such time that all technical proposals have been reviewed and evaluated to ensure that it is objective of the evaluation process. So the points are awarded based on the responses to very specific review questions. Once we met and once we evaluated the submittals, the committee, together with the purchasing department, invited the highest ranked firm for a demonstration of their capabilities requested in the RFP. Final contract negotiations were initiated with the highest ranked firm at the purchasing conference room. As a result of this negotiation process, the purchasing department and the evaluation committee have reached a proposed satisfactory working agreement. So staff recommendation is to award a term contract for on-site and off-site scanning and indexing services to Total Imaging Solutions of McAllen, Texas, for the stipulated prices attached to your agenda. The quantities of scanning and indexing services will be the responsibility and at the discretion of any department that wishes to engage with Total Imaging Solutions for these services. This contract shall commence upon award by City Commission meeting and shall expire on September 30th, 2011. Now, the city has the right and option to extend the life of the contract for 2 additional 12 months if it's mutually consent, by the vendor and the City of Brownsville. Funding for these services will be derived from each user's department's operating fund under professional services line items. And the tab sheet is attached to the agenda for your review.
A motion to give it, who are you recommending?
The recommendation is to Total Imaging Solutions of McAllen, Texas.
Will they be imaging out of McAllen?
No, sir. They're going to be doing the work on site.
On site.
Yes, sir. They're going to bring the equipment and they're going to do the scanning and indexing on site.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item 20, consideration and action to award a term contract for management and operations of the Catherine B. Stillman Animal Clinic for the Brownsville Animal Regulation and Care Center.
At the request of the Health Department Director, Arturo Rodriguez, the Purchasing Department solicited formal sealed proposals for a term contract for management and operations of the Catherine B. Stillman Animal Clinic for the Brownsville Animal Regulation and Care Center. It is the intent of the City of Brownsville to outsource the management and operations of the Catherine B. Stillman Clinic since it cannot meet the demands of the community in providing spay and neuter services. Selected respondents shall be responsible for providing veterinary spay and neuter services to include but not be limited to evaluating animals to determine suitability for sterilization procedures, performance of surgical procedures, post-operative care, as well as any additional follow-up care due to surgical complications. The contractor shall be required to provide veterinary assessments for disease, suspected abuse of animals, and in addition, all equipment, medical and non-medical equipment, at the animal clinic shall be purchased by the awarded vendor. The recommendation that I have is to award a term contract for management and operations of the Catherine B. Stillman Animal Clinic for the Brownsville Animal Regulation and Care Center to Brownsville Spay and Neuter Incorporated out of Brownsville, Texas. Brownsville Spay and Neuter Incorporated will pay the city of Brownsville the amount of $38,000 for all medical and non-medical equipment that is required under this contract for performing animal spay and neuter procedures. This contract shall commence on May the 1st, 2010 for a term of 3 years, terminating on May 31st, 2013, and might be extended by the city and the vendor for an additional 3 years, an additional 3 two-year terms for a total of 6 years. So that makes a 9-year agreement. Now, this agreement might be terminated by either party with or without cause on 60-day written notice, and should the clinic no longer have the services of a licensed veterinarian available to it, then the city might terminate the contract immediately. The administration of the Health Department concurs with this recommendation.
Okay. Any questions?
Would approve?
A motion approved by Commissioner Goya, second by Commissioner Gowan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. I'll abstain on this.
Item 20.
21.
Item 21, consideration and action to award a contract for the purchase, delivery, and installation of radio equipment for use by the Brownsville Police Department Dispatch Center and the Brownsville Fire Department.
Staff recommendation is to award a contract for purchase, delivery, and installation of radio equipment for use to be used by the Brownsville Police Department Dispatch Center and the Brownsville Fire Department to Motorola Incorporated out of San Antonio, Texas, in the amount of $230,301.48. This procurement reflects HEAC contract pricing, and it also includes a 1.5% handling fee. Now, this procurement will be funded throughout 3 different grants, which are scheduled to be reimbursed at 100%. Staff from the Emergency Management and Homeland Security Department concurs with this recommendation.
Okay, this is an action item.
So move.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Goya, second by Commissioner Carani. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 22.
Item 22, consideration and action on resolution number 2010-024 for an interlocal contract between Region 8 Education Services Center, governmental entity in the state of Texas, the interlocal purchasing system, and the city of Brownsville.
This is basically an interlocal agreement with Region 8 of the Education Services Center, which is a public agency through TIPS and TAPS. It's a cooperative purchasing network. That's all it is, for goods and services from different vendors.
This is an action item.
Would approve?
Motion approved by Commissioner Goya, second by Commissioner Zamora. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Goya, second by Commissioner Zamora. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you.